I'm hitting the button.
It's me, right?
It's you,
Today.
boo.
Oh, it feels like such a long time. And it wasn't. It was like 2 weeks ago.
Oh my God. Doing the edit for next week, last week's, I was just cringing. I was like, I really told these people not to hit subscribe. Like, what? So I need to like set that straight. Hit the button.
Hit them all.
Absolutely. It's
Oh,
free.
isn't it? And we all love free stuff. I definitely do.
Yeah.
More so now, like I'm such a if I see anything free, I'm just like, Although, so quite a few episodes ago, I'd said that we got a DVD machine, right?
Oh yeah.
Because yeah, so we are slowly kind of building up the DVD resources. And I was walking to the shops a few days ago, and someone just had put a bag outside
Oh
with
yeah, yeah.
loads of DVDs and loads of books, and were like, help yourself. And I sent a picture to the other half, and I was like, oh, these are here, like,
Yeah.
if you
What
want
do
to
you think?
swing by and pick some up. And he was like, yeah, have a little rifle through. And I was just like,
That's a you
no,
job,
no.
babes.
Yeah, yeah. Certainly not a me job. I don't fancy being like, could you imagine? I'm just like having a look through these bags outside someone's house, and one of the very few people that I know around here, spies me. No, thanks.
There's
I'm
certain
good.
things we can't do yet.
No, I'm not there yet. I am definitely not there yet. How has your week
I'm the
been?
same. Um, oh my God, how has my week been? I think hay fever was a thing.
Yeah, you
Um,
sound better.
yeah, it's starting to calm down, but now I'm just like mucusy. Sorry. Just
Ew.
like, yeah, it's not fun. So the eyes have stopped itching finally. Um, but really, what happened last week? That's crazy. That means it was just like work, innit? Just normal
Mm,
stuff. Work.
mm.
Took the kids to the dentist. That was a palaver. One was like itching to go, Tian, because she really wants her braces like every other day. It's like, can I have them now? Can I have them now? I'm just like,
Does
girl,
she
I'm
need
your
them?
yeah, yeah, yeah. They all do. Like, you know,
They
aside
all
from
like you've got a whole tribe. You've only got two.
listen, I've passed down many wonderful traits to them, but unfortunately, I also passed down crowding. So,
Oh,
so yeah, we are all going to be like braces clang at some point. So yeah, but she's really, really itching to get them. She's got like one of those. Is it a cane or it's not a
rogue.
canine? Yeah, this is like up there, and now it's getting on her nerves. So she's just like, Mom, please. I'm just like, girl, I'm many things. An orthodontist is not one of them. I can't. So, um, yeah. So what did he say? I think by the time she has her next check, which will be in November, she should be able to start the process then. We're just like waiting for two
Mm.
to fully like break through, and then she can have them. So she was happy about that. Well, happy that she's got like a time scale to work with now. Um, but now because she has to have extractions, or now that she was told she has to have extractions, because I always said it would be a possibility. Now she heard it from the dentist. It's changed from can I have braces to, but do I have to have the teeth extracted? It's always something, you know. So
Oh man, when I had my tooth extracted, I felt free.
yeah.
I was just like, oh. I looked like I had a stroke though.
Oh my
Just,
gosh.
I remember as well the dentist who did mine, he obviously injected some stuff to numb it. and then
Yeah.
was like poking after a while and being like, can you feel this? Can you feel that? What does this feel like? It should feel like this. And I was just like, I can still very much feel you
Okay. Yeah.
doing that. And so he put some more in, and then it started to numb a bit. And so he was just like, it's going to feel like a pull. And it wasn't until I left,
Yeah.
I was like sitting in my car and it took full effect.
Oh, wow.
I was like, oh, oh, oh. It was just like
Oh my
I have no
gosh.
control over my face at all. I was just like felt it drop and it was
Oh my
swollen and stuff.
gosh.
I remember going home and like having some ice cream and it was just like
Dribbling down. Do you know what? This is going to be me tomorrow. So I get my bottom two extracted tomorrow. So that is literally going to be me.
oh man. Are
I
they on the
know.
same side or different
No,
sides?
one on each
So
side,
you're gonna be like,
basically. Yeah. So the timing for the recording is great, but it does mean I'm going to have like two gaps there. So it will be giving like meth habit out of control for a while with like the missing teeth, but they'll be pulled
yeah.
back eventually. So
Well, there you go. There's
all part of the process. It always gets
it's
worse before
yeah,
it gets better, right?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly that. You'll have to send me a selfie though, please.
I'm like,
Just for
oh.
my entertainment. Yeah. When I'm sitting in the office, I'll be like,
All right. Because I love you, I'll send you a voice note too.
yes. All the lists.
Because I don't need any help with those normally, right?
Yeah. I thought it was funny the couple of episodes ago, you were saying something, you were like, oh, that S escaped me.
It literally left.
It was like,
Yeah. Snuck their hell out. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
oh dear. Um, yeah, man. Although, do you know, so the last week for me has been quite active, to be honest. Now that I've started going to tennis lessons or group tennis lessons, and also doing 2 hours of tennis with the other half, like at the weekend, I'm starting to get my buzz back for doing some exercise because that was
Okay.
missing for a
Yeah.
while. Um, and also, I've got an app on my phone where you can log in and see your activity. April was empty.
April, we rested.
Okay, but still, I looked at it and I was like,
You could
not
basically see
even
like
one login.
when you got up to like go to the loo, come back to the couch.
It was just like there was nothing going on, nothing. So that will change. That will change. I can't even believe like we're coming to the end of May. How nuts is
I
that? I
know.
could just feel this year is now. Took ages to get started, and now it's just like let's
Yeah.
go. So I need
These
to
are
catch up.
the next 3 months are the ones that just whiz by, you know.
And they're the ones we
Although
always want to stay.
although I feel like we say that about every bloody month. You know what I mean? Like the first
Mm,
quarter, obviously always just you blink and you get to April. So
yeah,
here we are. But this I feel like this is when it starts to get good, you know? The weather's
yeah.
better. As you said, you've got your zest for like activity now. Me too. I'm just the gym is happening very, very slightly. But then after I get this teeth pulled, I don't know when I'm gonna be able to go this week. Maybe towards the end of the week I'll be able to get in. But
Don't
yeah,
even push it. Like, even though obviously it's affecting your mouth, but your mouth affects everything. You know, like when we
yeah,
talk about like when you've got a toothache, it's just like sleep,
mm-hmm,
eating, general mood. It's just a
yeah,
wait thing. So wait until
vision,
next week. If you feel it, go. But
yeah,
other than that, like don't push yourself.
yeah. I probably won't do too much anyway. Maybe just like walk on an incline, just a little something, just so I can register that I've been there.
Yeah.
Because I
When
too
you
have
get a
a
little
tracker.
sheen, just have a
Yeah,
little sheen on you, and then you'll be like, I'm good.
a little glisten. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess after all of that chit chat, we should introduce ourselves and
Let's do it.
start the show. To everyone who is listening and to those who are watching on our YouTube channel, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're listening. Thanks for joining us. You have tuned in to It's All Frolics with myself, Amy G, and the beautiful Monique B, who runs the show.
Thanks,
basically. I'm a guest appearance every
No,
week.
no. You run the show. Whenever I lead, it's chaotic. This is going to be a very well organized show, folks. Enjoy.
I don't know about that one. So this week we have, I think, quite a deep dive, actually.
Thanks.
Sorry, I had to throw that in. We had a shallow paddle last week, so I thought we had to kind of like go in this week. But before we do, obviously, I'm going to tell you to do all of the things that Monique forgot to tell you to do last week.
I basically said, don't come back last week. Again, this is what happens when I lead. So take it away, Ames.
So all of the things mean hitting that subscribe button, giving us the likes. I mean, if you keep coming back, you have to enjoy it. So let us know that you're enjoying it.
Absolutely.
Thumbs up. I love a thumbs up. I mean, I'm sure you've seen a lot of this going on. So hit the thumbs up, leave a little comment, and engage with us. Memes, fun quotes. We're all into our self-love, self-development. So please feel free to share. If you are fellow Aries, come on now.
Oh yes,
come
Aries
on.
massive.
All right. And Pisces, actually, because you know we're on that cusp.
On the cusp.
So yeah, it'll be fun to engage in that way too. And everyone else, I'm not excluding you just because you're not an Aries or a Pisces. Like, we love you all. So come on down.
We do.
Show us the love that we show you every week. So those are all of the things done. Now, yeah, you'll add the sounds afterwards.
No, that was it.
Okay, cool. I always look forward to that though. Like, ooh, what's going to happen on this episode? Every time I watch, it's quite amusing. So this week's deep dive, actually, what am I trying to talk about? I'm trying to guess, and I actually had it in the background. So this week's, do you want to do the thing?
What thing?
The hands together thing?
Oh yeah, shit. Yeah. It sounds quite reluctant.
This is what happens when you have a break. I know. Let's just skip that. We'll just jump in. We'll just go in. Right, we're in it now. So this week's deep dive is all about vulnerability. So the question is, when have you seen me the most vulnerable, and what has that taught you about our friendship? No specifics needed, obviously, but this was hard for me, actually.
Oh my God. I was thinking, can I ask her if we can move this? But I've done that already. So I'm just like, okay, no. This was like the whole point of doing a show like this, that we were going to ask these questions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm always gassed for it ahead of time. And then when it comes to it, I'm just like, no. So I was just like, just do the thing. But like you, yeah, we always say it was a tricky one, wasn't it? But
yeah,
I just felt like this question basically is asking what is in the friendship vault, because everything to talk about is in the vault, you know.
well, that's why we don't need specifics.
Yeah,
because
absolutely. But it's that deep. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's why it was tricky. It was like, how do we talk about it but not? But I guess that it made me sort of think about things in a more zoomed out way.
Okay.
So,
well, elaborate on that, Monique.
Well, what did I think where I landed with you in terms of you being most vulnerable. Well, I wouldn't say most vulnerable because for me that is specific, but I would say times when you are vulnerable is generally when you're at a crossroads with something.
Mm,
Like, I feel like you are one of the most self-aware, one of the most emotionally intelligent people that I know. So you're very good at like self-analysis generally. But when you get to a crossroads where it's just like, I don't know like what to do, I feel like that is the area where we can get a tailspin sometimes. But also I
hmm.
noticed that you kind of question like everything comes into question, like decisions that were made, was time wasted, what's it all about? And it's just like, hold on. We can zoom in a little bit here. Um, but yeah, I think that's where I landed for you. It was just, as an observer to your feelings, it's just like, obviously I'm biased, I think you're amazing. I think you've done amazing things. And it always gets me in the heart a little bit when you really question all the things that you've done and that you're doing. I'm just like, girl, see you how I see you. Like, come back. Come back to reality a little bit. But as someone who has tailspin like many a times, like I understand it, and it's just about, you know, giving you the love, reminding you who you are, and just giving you the space to kind of work through it and providing
Mm.
that safe space to talk about it, where you know that the advice given, and sometimes it's not even always advice, sometimes it's, just I was gonna say cheer up, but no one ever says cheer up, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just something to make you laugh, or just something to just lighten things up a little bit, or just a bit of perspective.
Yeah.
Um, but oh, hold on, my brain's just farted. It's gonna come back. Hold on.
Well, let me use this little pause to say that
Yeah.
quite often, generally with vulnerability, you are lost at sea, because you've lost that control. You're at a place where nothing feels solid or secure around you. I suppose that's the whole thing about vulnerability, right? You're just like
Yeah.
maybe at your darkest, maybe at your lowest, maybe at your most confused, maybe at your most um, misunderstood, I think sometimes to yourself. Um,
Mm.
that it kind of feels like you are, and I've already said kind of lost at sea, but in my head, I'm visualizing literally losing grip of the boy or buoy, whoever pronounces it that, but I pronounce it
Yeah.
boy. Like you've just slipped off and it's just out of reach, and you're like trying to grab, trying to grab, trying to grab, because that's what keeps you afloat.
Yeah.
And I think when you have people who aren't trying to fix things for you, they're
Yeah.
just encouraging you that it's still there, it's still within sight, and that you are
Yeah.
not far from it. And once you kind of regain that sense of um, courage, um, you can grab it again. I think it's
Mm.
just it. At least that's how it feels for myself. Um, I feel like I am vulnerable quite a lot. I will put on this front of being this tough, indestructible kind of person who smells. What is going on?
Cough it out.
um, that wasn't emotion. That was just dust. um, You'll know when it's emotion because I'll be like lifting my head up for those who are watching,
Trying to roll
stopping
the
the
tears
tears
back.
from yeah, I think for me, when I'm get to that point where I'm like tired of having this facade, this mask, carrying this armor, all drops off.
Okay.
Like there's not even a shred of it left. It's
Yeah.
all or nothing. I think
I
that's
was just
why.
gonna say,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
you
think
like
that's
carry the
why
load until there's a break,
I can't.
basically.
Yeah, until I'm just like
Yeah.
physically, emotionally, mentally drained,
Yeah.
and it falls off, and then I'm just bare and naked. Um, and I think that's why I start questioning everything because it's like I have nothing on to tell me I made the right decisions. I'm just
Mm,
like a newborn baby, kind of trying to
yeah.
figure things out fresh again. And it's handy to have people who have been there through all stages
Yeah.
of your
Literally.
life to be like, this is not the first time that you've been here
Yeah.
and you've overcome it and you've become stronger. So this
Hmm.
is just like spring, a new
Yeah.
skin to grow, you know,
Yeah.
of having shed off all of that dead stuff. We're coming back anew, refreshed, better than ever to
Hmm.
start the next chapter of that journey. Um, and I think that that's something from for me. So when I was thinking about this question for you, the
Yeah.
reason I found it hard is because
I don't say shit.
yeah, yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
And when you do, which is at least to me not often, but when you do, it's like I've got to a point where I don't feel like I know what to do next.
Yeah.
And I'm asking for other perspectives, which I think is incredibly strong.
I mean, okay, I'll let you finish before. Let me
Were you
not.
gonna rebut?
Yeah. Here's all the reasons why you're wrong.
Just
Is what was
talk it
coming.
out. Go for it.
I mean, I guess strong, yes, but I think I kind of just want to move away from that label, because it's just like just because you can do something, it doesn't mean you should or that you have to. It's just a very old habit that I have of dealing with things by myself, or sometimes actually not dealing with it at all and just like completely disassociating. And then that comes to haunt me months or sometimes like a year or two later, you know? Um,
So hang
so
on. When you're saying this, are you referring to my word strong?
yes.
Okay. And if that is the case, have you interpreted you being strong as handling things on your own?
Um, yes. Yeah.
Okay. So misunderstanding there because
Okay.
me saying you being strong is recognizing when you need help, not
Okay.
trying to do it on your
Dealing with it
own.
all. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that changes things a little bit then, doesn't it?
Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Because I was like, as soon as you started saying that, I was just like, I don't think she's understood what I was
What I'm
saying there.
saying. Okay. Fair, fair,
Yeah.
fair. Yeah, I mean, to the second part of the question in terms of, the impact that vulnerability has on our friendship, I think having someone like you in my life who is very vulnerable and who doesn't seem to have an issue just saying like this is what's happening. Not saying that, every 5 minutes it's not. But like when you're feeling it, you'll just pick up the phone, text, leave a voice note, whatever, and just like say what it is. Like seeing that is it kind of gives me license to do the same now, even though I don't do it to the same degree. Mainly, it's not out of want. It's well, it's not out of not wanting to, because there have
Mm.
been countless times that I have picked up my phone, recorded something or typed something out and not sent it because it feels, I don't want to say, yeah, it feels silly. It feels like it just doesn't feel like it's worth sending. Sometimes I feel like I know what you guys are gonna say. I say you guys
Mm.
because in the chat it's K
Mm.
and you. I feel like I know what you're gonna say, so why bother? You know? That's foolishness, because if you were to say that, I would tell you something it's completely different. So I know what I'm saying is a crock of shit, but that is how it feels in the moment, you know? And it's
Mm-hmm.
just simply because my vulnerability muscle, um, I don't exercise it a lot at all. Gotten better for sure, but it's still an area um that I'm having to work on. All that to say, you um sharing the way that you do and being as open as you are definitely makes me feel like when like I really have to, I absolutely can. And I would not have done that before. I
Mm.
mean, as I said, I don't share that often, but I was not sharing anything previously, you know. I remember being with someone before and they told me that they didn't know me. Like after having been in a relationship with them for like, I don't know how many years was it at that point? 3, 4 years. They said that they didn't feel like they knew me. And I was highly offended. I was like, I see you every day. What are you talking about? And then after we separated and then going through this like journey of self-discovery and kind of like analyzing myself, I was just like, huh, actually, yeah, that's valid, because just because you know like what I like to watch on TV or what my evening routine is does not mean you know who I am. Because I've never
Mm.
shown you, like I don't I've not shared anything, you know? So yeah, that was interesting to learn.
It always is, though, but you have to go through those kind of experiences and have someone either point them out to you or reflect on their own stuff for you to start looking at
Doing this.
yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do find going through breakups, friendship or romantic, a fantastic opportunity to look inwards. Um, and it's also an opportunity where you can do massive damage to yourself, because looking inwards can sometimes mean looking at blame for
Yeah.
what did I do wrong? What is
Yeah.
wrong with me? Kind of scenario.
Yeah. And that's where
Um,
I lived for a very long time. Very long
I
time.
think
Yeah.
most people do. Most people do. What I love about, well, I know I'm safe in our friendship. I know there is never judgment either.
Mm-hmm.
And what I have found about revealing things, especially in our group of three, um, is there's different responses.
Mm.
And I am sometimes scared to say things
Okay.
because because I don't want to hear what's going to come back, because I
Yeah.
know it's what I need to hear as opposed to what I want to hear, right?
Yeah.
Um, with you, you are very good at being able to pick up. Now is the time to encourage. Now is the time to um, just remind someone of something, or now is the time to bring joy and laughter and
Mm.
silliness. Um, there are never any scripted responses. You seem to be able to look past bullshit and get to the core of this is what is needed from me
Yeah.
in this vulnerable moment, which I really enjoy. Where I am scared sometimes is in terms of approach, there's a difference, and I need both. I
Mm.
need both. And that's why I feel I love our little trio moment. And I know
Yeah.
she's going to be loving listening to this, giving so much props as well. Um, and it's interesting that where I give so much of my vulnerability, and like you've mentioned in terms of like not giving so much, what I have noticed over the years is that is changing. Like
Yeah.
there's more. I mean, I know the other day where you were well, not the other day, it was before we had our break, and you were like umming and ahhing about either whether or not to even send me a message and being like, nah, it
Yeah.
ain't today. Because even though you knew my response,
Yeah.
um, the fact that you gave yourself that opportunity, that's massive. That is massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely feel like sometimes what I'm learning though is, and what I need to still be doing better at is checking in to see whether or not you have bandwidth for my vulnerability in that moment.
Oh, yeah.
I don't, and I think this is something that I have noticed when I'm in that space, I get completely consumed by it. I forget to check in with other people. It's almost like a selfish kind of filter that goes on. I forget to recognize other people have shit going on in that
Mm.
moment too. Just because they're not saying anything doesn't mean that nothing's going on. But I'll always encourage you guys, send me all the stuff. Tell me all the
Yeah.
things.
Do you know what? There are some times like when you send messages, and I'm just like, it highlights to me how much I don't share. I'll put it that way, you know? And it's just, oh, I wish I was better at doing it. I wish it wasn't such an effort. I wish it was almost just like, almost kind of just more like a knee-jerk reaction to be like, let me just let these people that love me know what's going on. Um, and you know what? Sometimes it's not even to get the advice back. Sometimes it is just to kind of lift the weight, you know,
Mm,
sometimes. But yeah, it's just always been a struggle. It's always been a struggle for me. It's getting easier. Um, and I don't know, sometimes honestly, I'm just like really blown away by you sometimes and just your ability to be like, here's all of the things, it's just, yeah, it's something I admire about you a lot.
thank you. I think I'm going to take it as a compliment. No, I'll take it as a
No,
compliment.
it is
I'll
absolutely.
take it. I
I
don't
feel like
notice it though.
I feel to me, it feels brave, it feels brave.
Interesting.
You might not see it that way because it's you don't struggle with sharing as much as I do. Whereas to me, it's just like,
Mm.
oof, I don't know if I could ever do that. So it would seem brave to me, but there is something that I feel is super courageous with anyone sharing anything so, you know, personal or anything at all. Because there is always that chance that, you know, there might be judgment or even if nothing judgmental is said, you may still think, oh, what are they really thinking?
Yeah.
There is that fear as well. Um, but to be able to just be like, Bridget, this is what's going on, this is how I feel, what do you think? Or help, it's major.
It's interesting, obviously part of this deep dive, we were just exploring kind of, what the vulnerable moments have taught us about our friendship. This podcast is a really good example of where you're still pushing yourself out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And I know obviously when I said, oh, this is the question today, and you were like, let's push this back. You're still going for it. And that's something that I really admire about you is like you might be, oh, I was going to use a big word. And then I said it in my head and I'm like, I'm not going to shame myself in case it's wrong.
No, you got to tell us now.
Nah, it ain't happening. Even though you might be hesitant, you know, you still push through in that. And I feel privileged to be part of this growth journey that you're on, that you're leading for yourself. And I will forever be a cheerleader. Know that. Forever be a
Absolutely.
cheerleader.
Ditto, babes.
Because it's just about happiness, right? Our own personal happiness. And
Mhm.
I think it's so I would love to jump back into like our early 20s, like be a fly on the wall and just, you know, jump into some of those conversations, just hear how we interacted with each other back in the day. The
Yeah.
reason I'm saying that is because in preparation for some posts for different kind of episodes, I've been reflecting on pictures and I saw one when we were 25, 24 at like a Western themed party at my old flat.
I know the one.
And that's quite early on still in our
Yeah.
friendship.
Yeah.
So the growth has been wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be on this journey with you.
Oh, babes. Thank you for being a great example. Honestly, like, no, for real, for real. This might get a bit mushy now, but as the eldest sibling, which you can relate to, I've
Mm-hmm.
always felt like um because of our age gap, like there's a 7 and 9 year age gap between me and my sisters. So even though I had siblings, I still felt like an only child because growing up, I just wasn't able to, we were in different worlds. We weren't able to relate to each other at all. So I've always felt like you and Kay have been my older sisters. I've always felt that way. And I just feel like you both are just really great examples of what? Sorry. Great
That's funny.
examples of persistence, speaking your mind, setting goals and going for them. Um, I don't know, the list is so long, but I think I feel like what it was is that I've just been able to see in you so many qualities that I wanted for myself, which is why I've said that you're like great examples, you know. And for a very long time, for a very long time, I felt like quite inferior. And there have been times like along
Mm.
our friendship journey where I've just been like, all right, here is where they leave you because they're just on a different trajectory. And, you know, you can't be funny all the time, bitch. Where's the substance? Literally, and I know that's not true, but that's how it felt, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because for the simple fact of the people that you are, I know you guys don't have time for foolishness. You don't have time for people that, you know, aren't about something and don't bring something good to your own lives, you know. So even that mere fact alone, I know I'm not being so-called kept around for kicks, you know, but I think I've gone way off track. But you were thanking me for like sharing, and I'm just trying to say thank you for being a great example of sharing, of being a safe space and allowing me in my sweet time, because it's taken a minute to get to the place where I can make these changes for myself. Yeah, I think that's
Aww.
right. Yeah,
It makes me sad though to think that you felt that way. But I
yeah. I
think that
mean,
we all must, well, I can't speak for Kay. I can only speak for myself. But yeah, I think that sometimes, and it's tricky when it's a three, you know,
yeah.
because it's a case of like we all have different relationships with each other and
Mm-hmm.
balancing that. But what I love, and I know that we were like the deep dive was about seeing each other at our most vulnerable and what that's taught us about our relationship, our friendship. And Kay is very, very present in this deep dive. But sometimes I
Yeah,
cannot talk about our friendship without talking about friendship with her too, because I feel like we all come as a package. Like,
yeah,
even though we all have individual friendships, there just in my head does not exist.
yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? So,
Without
um,
the other, yeah,
yeah, yeah, and I feel like it's I will often refer to you guys as my sisters
yeah,
because it very much feels that way. Like I never feel as though this is just a friendship. Like you guys are family,
yeah,
flat. And you guys show up as family too. Um, so even though we don't have the blood ties, there is very much a solid love behind all of our interactions.
yeah.
And I think that's why I said earlier on, I'm sometimes scared to put things in out there in the chat because it's like if I am revealing this stuff about myself, I might hear something back that I definitely do not like. I
Mm,
do not like. Um, and I'm worried about my reaction to that as opposed
okay,
to how that's really going to
okay.
make me feel. Because what we don't have as a when you're family is they don't go nowhere. You cannot get rid of them.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
But friends
That's
can just
true.
be like, not for me anymore,
Yeah,
and you know, move on. So um but yeah, I think that's also that's something that for me I have had to. I'm just like, oh no, no, no. I know whatever is said is never said in malice. It's even if it's
mm-mm.
strong, it's
Yeah.
like
Oh, I love how you put that. A strong reply.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just like mirror. It's that mirror being shown at you, and you can't
yeah.
hide from that. You know, you're just seeing everything back, and um,
Yeah, it's tough. I
yes,
mean, as much as we love each other and as much as we know like where the encouragement or whatever is said back, we know where that is coming from a good place. But we're still human. And sometimes we don't want to hear that shit. Do you know what I mean? I've had replies sometimes and I've just been like, eye roll, phone put down. I'm not in a place to accept that right now. Either
yeah,
because it's too nice or because it's too strong. And but again, because I know where it's coming from, I know it's for my betterment, I will come back to it. You know, it's never about the person that sent it. It's definitely about where I am
yeah,
in that moment to be able to receive it. Um,
yeah, definitely.
but yeah, I think we've put a lot of stake into our friendship now to know that we have the other's best intentions at heart, you know.
Hmm.
And I think we do give each other like a lot of grace as well, you know. There might be times where we do say something that might be a bit over and we thought it was helpful at the time, but actually it went down terribly. And I guess it's about kind of extending the grace both ways, being able to like recognize that, yeah, this hurt, but I know it wasn't intentional, or like having a conversation about it, something, you know, that's
Yeah.
that's the humanness in us. But again, I think because of this safe space that we've created, we can kind of have those conversations with the intention of gaining understanding and resolution as well,
Mm.
you know, without
I
having to
know.
call into question the whole friendship, because it's not that.
Yeah. No, 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 no. And it's, I think, do you know, I feel like we do really, really well. You know, but you hear about communication is key in relationships, romantic relationships. I actually feel like my current romantic relationship benefits from the friendships, the strong friendships that I have. More importantly, like the friendship that I have with you and Kay, because I have been able to develop the skills through our friendship
Mm.
to have that grace, to give that grace, to give myself that time to be like, I mean, I said that in a moment.
Yeah.
Did not show my best self. And be able to go back and say, look, I know that I said this, and this is where that was coming from. And be able to kind of like hash that out much, much better, because we do it all the time. We
Yeah.
do it all of the time. It feels much easier in our friendship than it does sometimes in the romantic relationship. But yeah, that definitely, you know, for me, I can't, I cannot place my finger on it. On, you know, if someone was like, oh, why are you and Monique friends? Or why are you and Kay friends? I could never say it's just this thing. There
Mm.
are so many bits, and, you know, there's so many parts to it, but I just cannot get enough.
I'll be like, excuse me, who are you asking these questions to? Him and you? What do you mean, why? This is why you're not part of the group. But yeah, I I totally agree. It's yeah, oh, see, look, even now I can't even like sum it up.
Mm,
It's it's oh man, it's just everything you would hope for in a friendship. Do you know what I mean? It really is. And as you said, anytime that we're like together, either in a two or all three of us, it's just never enough time. It's just never enough. Even
no.
when we're together for like days in a row, it's just like, oh, bye then.
Until next time, which is going to be when?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's great. Like it's a blessing. And I wish this for everybody, you know.
Yeah.
Like as you've just said, like a tight, solid friendship, it just helps you in so many other aspects in life, you know, as you said, like romantically to be able to develop those skills to communicate, but then also to kind of give you perspective on certain situations when like you might be wiling out or you might be
Hmm.
justified in the one. It's good to have a solid sounding board that's not just gonna, you know,
Be yes
take your
people.
side. Yeah, exactly. They will hold that mirror up, you know. Um, oh, yeah,
I know.
brain fart.
I can see us like all old biddies, like wearing our grandma Crocs. Kay will be too. Like out on the
Reluctantly.
deck, sipping a gin and tonic, reminiscing about times with rollers in our hair. I can see it.
I
I
literally
can
had
see
the
it.
Golden Girls like flashback earlier in this conversation already. So for sure, like
Oh my
where life
gosh.
is at this point.
Yeah. To the next chapter. So here's to
Mm,
vulnerability. Here's to being open, to showing the rawness of ourselves and being on hand to help build up, to heal, to
yeah,
champion, um, to it all, really. I think
yeah.
the best friendships that you can have vulnerability in them. So don't be afraid, peeps. Don't be afraid.
It's like it's beautiful on the other side of it, you know. We've always said that like vulnerability is it's the trenches. It really
Mm,
is. It's awful. Like no one wants to feel completely exposed and just, you know, just open to possible ridicule or to shame or misunderstanding, as you said, which was a great one. Um, but that's how you develop like those strong ties with people. That's how you get to learn about yourself, you know, that's how you get to change habits that might be holding you back. That's how you become
mm.
stronger. Like it's gross, but it's amazing at the same time. I just snorted on myself. I need some tissue.
Oh, lovely. Lovely jubbly. I am so shiny. Hang on. I'm like that crab in Moana. Shiny.
Shiny. That's like the best song in that movie. I don't
Isn't
care what
it?
no one says. It's the
Best
best song.
character. I do like that guy. Was it Flight of the Concords that he's from? Did you ever watch that?
I never did. And someone tried
I'm
to get me to watch it.
surprised.
Yeah, someone was just like, "You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it." And I was just like, "Oh, I don't
Oh,
love it." I don't know if maybe I saw it after like the vibe had passed for it. But I
yeah.
was like, I don't know if it's a bit. I don't think it's a bit of me. It was too out there from what I remember. I didn't make a whole
Yeah,
episode.
there was quite really. I
Yeah.
saw like a series. I thought it was quite fun, but similar to what was it called? The 220 something girls in New York,
Good city.
stoners. That's the one. Loved me a bit of that too. It's
The
nature's pocket. It's nature's pocket.
Virginia.
Such a good
Good
show.
times.
I might have to start watching that again, actually, just from the beginning. That was so funny.
It was.
Oh dear. So,
Oh,
yeah, I guess not really to wrap up because I think you summed vulnerability in friendships up really, really nicely before you snotted on yourself. Um, um, so to lighten the mood, I suppose, a little, have we got a little content for media circus activity from your side?
oh, sure. Segue.
Yeah,
Right. I might have to get you to, we might have
fill
to do
in,
a, no, because I've got to find it. Sorry.
transition.
Yeah. Okay, 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 okay. Oh my God. All I can hear now is shiny.
I went through a stage of like watching all of the Disney films again.
So wait,
What's your favorite?
you went through a stage of watching all of them.
Yeah,
Do you know what? For years and years, my favorite Disney movie used to be Cinderella. And I feel like that was like very telling of my
because she naps. No,
naps.
that's Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah. Yeah, just oh my God, that's a whole nother deep dive, isn't it? Just like wanting to be rescued, wanting to be like taken away from the life that you were living. Yeah,
Mm.
literally, I used to love that movie. What would I say is my favorite now though? Ooh, oh, it's so hard. I don't know if I could have an ultimate fave,
Because
maybe
lots
like a
of people say
top.
Lion King
I
or
mean,
The Little
yeah,
Mermaid is another one that comes up a lot.
yeah, from the old ones, I loved Sword in the Stone and I loved Robin Hood of the old ones. Yeah.
So I've not
Um,
seen Sword in the Stone in so
oh my God.
long.
Don't let me start singing the intro right now because I know all of the words. It's so good.
But you know, sometimes I'll just be like cleaning up in the kitchen and I'll be like,
It's not picking up the whistle.
oh no,
What
probably a
was
good
that?
job. So it was in tune. I'll just let you know that. Um, so sometimes I just start whistling the is it a cockerel rooster
Oh.
in yeah
Oh, good
from Robin
whistle.
Hood. Yeah, I'm not bad at whistling, you know.
I'm an intermittent whistler. I can't do it all the time. Sometimes it's there, most of the time it's not.
But when you try, sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not, or you're not
Yeah,
consistent in when you start whistling.
sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. Like if
Ah,
I can whistle. Other times the lips are just like, nah, shit. I can't find this one. Let me see if I can remember it. So, brace yourselves. This Am I the Arsehole? Okay, so there is this guy who works in a law firm, and him and his colleagues basically take turns I think it was every week to like host like a dinner night. And the week that it fell to be his dinner night, he actually was having work done at his apartment. So he was considering whether or not to host it at his girlfriend's. Now, I say he was considering it because he basically found her interior design decor to be very childish, should we say. So he was like, there's a hallway that's got like cartoon posters up. In her bathroom, she's got like dead insects and there's a moon painted on the ceiling. In the front room, there's just like what he considered to be very weird stuff. So
okay.
his Am I the asshole was basically, am I the asshole um to ask my girlfriend to like take these posters down for when his colleagues come over, because he was saying that they would have a problem with it, basically. So is he the arsehole for wanting her to take the posters down to host this dinner party, or should he basically wait until his apartment's ready and then host another night?
I have a problem with it. I have a problem with him thinking that he should ask her to, you know, rejudge her apartment because he doesn't approve of it and he feels like his work friends, colleagues would judge it. Like, she would be doing you a favor
Mm-hmm.
offering up that space. How dare you?
Mm-hmm.
How dare you? That's so. Mm, I'm thinking of the word, but I think he's an asshole. Yes, you are.
Short and sweet.
What's wrong with Airbnb? You can rent somewhere for a night.
Literally.
If it's not to your taste, rude.
Yeah, I feel like it's, as you said, I feel like it's him that has the problem with the decor, and he's kind of using his work colleagues as an excuse to get rid. He's the one that's embarrassed by it. But I'm just like,
Yeah.
I just feel like, if you're with someone and you love them, you got to love all of them. You don't have to understand certain things about them. Like, I don't know if I would want like pictures of dead cockroaches in my bathroom either. But it's like, if that's his partner's apartment, that's his partner's apartment. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
I wouldn't ridicule it. I wouldn't put it down in front of other people. It's just like, hey, that's what she likes. And you keep it moving.
Yeah,
But
exactly. It
to
might be a
consider,
talking point.
yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's going to be.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
well, I don't know if she would be there either. I'm assuming she probably wouldn't. She'd be out for the night, not invited to the dinner potentially. But someone might be like, "Oh, it's interesting. You've got pictures of cockroaches in your bathroom. What's that? What's that about?"
yeah,
Well,
literally.
where are they? Are they different species? Are you interested? Who knows?
Hmm.
But no,
I thought he was
asshole.
terrible for that.
Mm,
And trying to play it off
eye
like, oh
roll.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
No,
Mm,
I've got
short
one.
and sweet.
Okay, so again, this one was sent by Kay a few weeks ago. Um, so summary. There's this lady who's writing in to ask if she's the asshole. Um, so her daughter has a friend. Did I just make up some names? Okay, so the daughter's name is Alice,
Okay,
and the friend's name is Megan. I don't know where
okay.
these names come from, but basically Alice and Megan. So Megan seems to be round the house all of the time. Like her home life is busy. There's lots of
Hmm.
kids around and not much kind of like money floating around. Anyway, so Megan comes to lots and lots of things that this lady and her daughter Alice go to, like whether they're going to a park or if they're going to like events. A lot of the time, Megan will go with them, and the mum doesn't mind because they're friends. Um, and there was one point where they I think she won tickets to a concert. But on the date that they were due to go, neither the mum or Alice could actually go. But Megan really enjoyed the band that was playing. So Megan's birthday was coming up. And so the mum was thinking, oh, maybe I should gift these tickets to Megan so then she can take another friend and they can enjoy themselves. So she
Hmm.
reached out to Megan's mum, asked a question. Mum's like, yeah, that's really lovely. Thank you very much. So then she gifts these concert tickets. Then she finds out that Megan's mum is actually not taking Megan or allowing Megan to go to the concert with a friend. She's going to take her son, who'd never been to a concert before. All of the other siblings had been to a concert, but this one hadn't. And the son didn't even like the band that was playing or the group that was playing. So the mum who originally won the tickets was like, cool, was like, I'm actually going to take these back because this was a gift to Megan,
Hmm.
not this other dude who doesn't even like the music that's
This other
playing.
dude. Yeah.
So she calls up the Megan's mum's like, are you taking this your son to this gig and not allowing Megan to go? And she's like, yeah, well, he's the only sibling that's never been to a concert. So I thought with the tickets, I'll just take him to the concert. So the original mum was like, well, no, I'm taking these tickets back because they're rightfully my tickets. I was gifting them to Megan as a present. And if she's not going, then you don't deserve to have the tickets. So the am I the arsehole is she an asshole for taking back a gift that she has given?
Um, no, she's not. She's actually very brave because I'm thinking, would I do that? I'd want to do it, but I think I might chicken shit out of it, to be honest. But no, she's not the arsehole. I guess technically, like she's given the gift. So what happens to it? is,
No longer in her hands.
you've relinquished them. So whatever happens to them, happens to them. But under, you know, what's the word that I'm looking for? With the intention that they were given, I understand why she's just like, oh no, I'm going to take them back. That makes complete sense to me. I think she should.
Mm,
I think she should. And that's going to be awkward as hell. And that's why I said I would chicken shit out of it because awkward situations, likey. But but yeah, I totally agree. That's out of order. You're
Isn't
taking your
it?
son that doesn't want to go, that's never heard of this band. And also, how do you look at your daughter in the eye after having done that? Like she knows that these tickets are around and
Yeah.
you're giving them to her brother who doesn't care about that. That's cruel, actually.
It's like even if it wasn't tickets to a concert, if you'd been gifted a toy, um, and the only person in your family who doesn't have a toy of that ilk is a sibling, that your mum just goes, yoink, you're
Yeah,
giving that to your brother. Well, that's
yeah,
my gift. That's mine.
absolutely. That's definitely like a trauma seed. That would have been planted. So, but actually now she's a hero. Now she's like, now she's stopping trauma.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my
Although to be
God.
fair, damage is done because like this girl's looking at her mum sideways now, like you were really gonna give my concert tickets away to my brother who doesn't want to go, knowing fully well that I want to go.
Mm, yeah.
Wow.
And then there's going to be the issue as to whether or not the mum's going to allow her to hang out with
Hang
Alice
out.
anymore because her mum's caused issues about not allowing her to take her son to this gig. So, right back for more. An update.
No one wins. No one
Drama.
wins out of this.
No, that was tough though, because I just don't. I would be pissed. I would be pissed, but I don't think I'd say anything.
Damn. Yeah, I couldn't. I'm not that brave.
No.
I'm not that
If
brave
I could
at
get
all.
someone else to do it
But
on my behalf, I would, but I wouldn't do
yeah,
it.
I'd be the type of person that would like the next time Megan's over with us, we'd do something fun because
Yeah.
your mother's terrible. So come have some fun over here with us, like you usually do.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Oh my gosh. So bad. Well, I
Oh,
think that wraps it up now. Like at the end of our little, am I, am I, there we go. I was trying to get the fingers to go, but that wasn't working. It was just like my whole hands
yeah, I
going.
do the whole hand. I'm not that ambidextrous though. It's okay.
Woo! Yeah. So guys and girls, or they and them, however you see yourselves, thank you very much for joining us. If you got this far on the madness train that is It's All Frolics, there is another episode due to come out in about a week's time, so be on the train before it leaves the station. No, we'll wait for you. Don't worry about it. So I mentioned at the beginning of the episode to do all of the things. I'm going to do another reminder. Hit that subscribe button, please. It lets you know when our next episode is due to air, so you don't want to miss out on any of the fun times. Do that. A little thumbs up, a little like will go all the way to our pleasure center of joy. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Not that pleasure center,
I
love.
know. I needed the classification, the clarification.
That's like the other day when Kay was saying about the sending me fingers, and you were like, what fingers are you talking about?
Honestly, yeah.
Chocolate fingers, guys, for clarification. Chocolate fingers she was talking about.
I mean,
because they're my favorites. They don't hang around long. And if you're bringing a box to a party, no, bring more than one because I ain't sharing them.
Absolutely.
Joey doesn't share food. Neither does Amy.
You made it this far in the episode, so you obviously liked it. So hit the like button. We're all about truth and authenticity here. You heard the deep dive. You liked it. So show it.
Yeah, get
That was
involved.
very aggressive.
Yeah, it wasn't aggressive, but we are a ram, so we do go
The
in
Aries
head
just like
first.
jumps out every now and then.
Doesn't it? You have to dampen her sometimes. On our Spotify, we do often have polls, which is based around our deep dives. So if you're feeling like you have the strength to be vulnerable, get involved in those too. Also mentioned in case of just engaging anyway, we're on socials. Have a little look at our little social pages, like the pictures, like the reels, send us messages, comment on them all. Oh my god, get your words out. This is what happens when we get to the end of the show. I just start dribbling. But a big thank you from me. I'm sure a massive thank you from her.
Absolutely. Thank you, dolls.
Until next time, it's us, it's you, it's all Frolics. Peace,
Bye.
millennials, fingers up, yay! Idiots.